Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and you are not bullish enough. Wait till you see some of the things I have in this video. I'm going to start here. New York Stock Exchange global head of listings predicts more cryptocurrency companies will go public with an increase in upcoming IPOs. Ooh, could it be Ripple? Could it be some of the others? Just a reminder, link to my sponsor. They do private equity, cryptocurrency, AI, all types of different companies on there for accredited investors. They're out of Ripple on there, but I know that there's some other cryptocurrency related companies and AI companies that are live right now. Go to linqto.com. Reminder, they're doing their link to AI Innovation Conference to educate potential AI investors. I will be there. It's in San Jose, California, February 18th, 2025. And you can go and register now. I think they've got a handful of spots left, if that. So the link to this is in the top of the description. And the day before out there, Ray Fuentes is doing an XRP family meetup in San Jose as well. And so you can sign up for that too. I've got the link to that in the top of the description of this video as well. Now let's get on to business. This is Jeremy Allaire, the CEO. Everybody's been crying, oh, Trump hasn't done any crypto stuff yet. No executive orders, no announcements. Wait for it.
Jeremy, on legislation, crypto yesterday not mentioned in the president's inaugural address. We haven't seen any executive orders related to crypto yet. We did see some on immigration, trade, energy, TikTok. Are you concerned at all that given what we saw in the last 24 hours, this isn't necessarily as much of a priority for the president as many had thought?
Not at all. I expect to see executive orders, and I expect to see key agenda items here. There's a lot to do, and I expect the Trump administration to continue to be in the limelight with a lot of action. And obviously, we're going to start seeing action from the regulatory agencies, action in Congress, and so I think you'll see that out of the White House as well.
Well, it's interesting. You have a few things going on at the same time. You have the Biden administration really going against congressional decision-making here. When it came to Staff Accounting Bulletin number 121, of course, that this would be addressing rules around accounting for the crypto industry. At Davos, it's been reported that you've been talking about how this might be one of the first things that is addressed. And if it is, what does it really unlock?
Well, I mean, I think it was in the policy platform for President Trump, and I know it's a major issue for industry and certainly within the broader Republican leadership. And so my expectation is that we will see that repealed, whether that's by executive order. I don't know the legality of how all these things are done, to be frank, but I do think that will be repealed. And just as you heard from the CEO of State Street, Ron O'Hanley, banks need this clarity and corporations need this clarity so they can hold crypto assets on their balance sheets and provide custody and do other things and not have it be punitive, which really SAB 121 has been punitive in many respects and is a huge headache for public companies. And so I think, making this all more capital markets friendly, custodian friendly, financial institutions.
Come on now.
Friendly is going to take.
Okay, now he mentioned the State Street CEO, so I went out and found it. This is the State Street CEO. Now, folks, let me put this in perspective for you. When you go and you go into your E-Trade account or your Morgan Stanley account or your Charles Schwab account, and you go and you buy, let's say, some Tesla stock, you don't even think about that stock certificate, but there is one. The custodians on Wall Street, and there's like 2 or 3 of the biggest ones. One would be BNY Mellon, 2 State Street, 3 either JP Morgan, or then there's Northern Trust. But anyway, the point is, these guys have, Wall Street has been built up around the idea that by being custodians of those stock certificates or bonds, that you don't have to worry about it and you can trust. And that's what's coming in, folks. That's what's been prevented. One of the many things that's been prevented with crypto, they've prevented these guys from getting in this game. When they get into the game and people no longer have to worry about, oh, could some hacker steal my digital assets? It is over. It's on like Donkey Kong. So listen to what State Street, the second largest custodian in the world, says.
Digital assets and
this is the chairman and CEO.
A framework, a regulatory framework for that would be very helpful. With crypto, the key issue for banks has been, are they able to custody it? Up till now, they haven't been able to, given the way the accounting rules have been applied. But to the extent to which that changes, I mean, that's then something we'd be interested in custodying.
Uh-oh. And then there's this. This is the other thing people don't realize. This guy's sitting beside the BlackRock CEO, and they're talking about AI. You're about to see the merger of AI and crypto. I believe crypto was partially created for that merger. Listen to what he says.
I actually believe crypto is a currency of AI. We spoke about earlier how soon enough all of us will have multiple agents, AI agents working for us. They're going to inform us, they're going to support us, they're going to make transactions on our behalf. So worldwide, there will be explosion of financial transactions 24/7. The traditional banks, the SWIFT system, they cannot support that. So crypto will play a bigger and bigger role in the age of AI.
But at the same time, we're going to...
Boom. All right. Now, remember the the Bank of America CEO, we were covering that yesterday. This guy, he is he's the co-founder of the Easy app, okay? He was at Blackstone, Goldman Sachs, went to Wharton. No dummy. He says, if this happens, you need to study both Ripple and Stellar, made in America, focused on finance, existing partnerships with TradeFi. And then this guy went into AI and says, does BofA have XRP patents? And it goes through a whole thing. Yes, BofA has patents related to XRP. The patents outline how BofA can use XRP to bridge cross-border payments. BofA is also using XRP for all its internal transactions, and goes on from there. Well, remember yesterday when this was put out by Chad Steingraber? You'll find that the banking system will come in hard on the transactional side of it. Now think about this for folks. If Bank of America wants to use XRP for transactions, if there were a tax on each transaction, it would be a nightmare. But what if there wasn't? Chris Giancarlo had retweeted this where it says, fair weather winds are beginning to blow. BofA CEO thinks banks will jump into crypto payments if regulators allow it. Chris Giancarlo says, trust me, it's going to happen. So then I clipped out the one part. So for Bank of America to do those transactions, do they not need, in this case XRP, to be tax-free, those transactions to be tax-free?
Day two is to deliver on some of Trump's digital asset promises, a strategic reserve, a crypto council, and perhaps capital gains relief for digital asset transactions.
Not for digital assets, but for digital asset transactions.
Perhaps capital gains relief for digital asset transactions.
Folks, I don't want to go far enough to say the writing's on the wall, but it's at least some scribble right now. Okay, now we know Ross Ulbricht was let out of prison yesterday, but I think that Trump and his people, Pam Bondi, I forgot to put her in there, they need to follow the money. Remember this? Katie Hawn is an assistant U.S. attorney for the Northern District of California, was involved in prosecuting two federal agents, Carl Mark Force and Sean Bridges, who are part of the investigation into Ross Ulbricht and the Silk Road. However, she was not directly involved in the prosecution of Ulbricht himself. Her role was specifically related to what she described as the twist of the Silk Road case, which involved prosecuting the corrupt agents who were investigating Silk Road. These agents were accused of stealing Bitcoin, selling information to Ulbricht, and other misconduct. Thus, while Hahn's work indirectly impacted Ulbricht's case by exposing misconduct within the investigation, she did not play a direct part in Ulbricht being sentenced. In other words, folks, did the FBI, did they go after Ulbricht so hard because he knew what the FBI agents had done and what kind of nefarious activity? And did it go beyond those two agents? That is my question, and that is what needs to be looked into. We are so back. This guy's an ETF guy. He's a crypto asset management from Bloomberg. He covers ETFs. Here's a massive list of all the current digital asset ETF filings that I am aware of. You'll notice in here it says some of them are baskets: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, Litecoin, HBAR, XRP, Solana futures, XRP futures. There's even an XRP short in there. There was another XRP ETF yesterday. Folks, it's on. It is so on, it's not even funny. All the market right now is waiting for is that first Trump announcement to solidify what's coming. Just in, Coinbase CEO Armstrong says the exchange would delist Tether if required by law, as U.S. legislation will mandate full reserves in Treasury bonds. According to the Wall Street Journal, Tether is under investigation by the Justice and Treasury Departments for lacking fully audited financials. Uh-oh. Then Jack Mallers, look, he says, man, these guys are pitiful. Bitcoin needs no leaders, no boards, no reform. The world is waking up to the reality. There's Bitcoin, then there's everything else. The bubble isn't in Bitcoin, it's in the shit coins trying to ride its coattails. And I said, well, unless that 4 Satoshis video where Homeland Security openly admits to meeting with them ever goes mainstream. And that's the fact, Jack. Peter Schiff had an interesting tweet. It's funny watching Anthony Pompliano on CNBC trying to explain what a meme coin is. The reason it's hard for him to do, that there's no real difference between Trump coin and Bitcoin. So it's a fine line to walk when explaining a meme coin without exposing the same fraud from about Bitcoin. And then I retweeted it and said, once they stop lying about not knowing who the 4 Satoshis are, Peter Schiff becomes 1,000% right. No use case, and you are no different than a meme coin. And that is also the fact, Jack. Now you need to see this, folks. This is one of those things where you're like, oh my goodness. This was tweeted from CNBC. A Trump meme coin ETF is already in the works. And what? Well, I didn't mean to click on that. Hold on. See if I can go back. Yeah, it opened up an article. I just wanted you to see the graphic. Look what digital asset Trump is holding. But what's the significance of that? Well, years ago, and I do mean years, like 2018, 19, maybe 20, this graphic was going around by some, I don't know if it was riddlers or bears or just sleuths on the internet. Somebody had put out this graphic of Trump holding up the XRP token. And now here he is holding up the XRP token. All right, we're going to go into DAIXRP.com. Got a lot more interesting stuff to cover. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. Away we go.